On day 1, I spawned in as Spider-Man. I was in the middle of a destroyed area. There were a bunch of craters on the ground. Who could have caused all of this? Suddenly, a large purple man walked through the fire.
Hello, Spider-Man. I, Thanos, have captured the Avengers and your precious girlfriend, Mary Jane.
You monster! Why would you do that? I swung at Thanos and tried to punch him, but he easily knocked me away.
Once I obtain the Elemental Infinity Stone, the Fire Stone, the Ice Stone, the Lightning Stone, and the Earth Stone, I will use them to wipe out half the life in Minecraft and bring balance as all things should be. I am inevitable.
Thanos teleported away, and I was left alone and confused. I swear, I'm going to stop Thanos and protect the world by obtaining all of the Elemental Infinity Stones myself. Then, I'll become Elemental Spider-Man. I ran off on day 2, knowing that I had to find the other Avengers and all of the Elemental Infinity Stones. But how do I even start? I then saw a tall figure standing in the distance. It was a strange-looking Enderman.
Spider-Man, Thanos told me to make sure you didn't get the stones.
The Endermen were working for Thanos? I had to stop him. Suddenly, he appeared behind me and knocked me forward. Ow! That hit alone took a bunch of hearts away. I tried to jump at him, but the Enderman teleported again. Ugh! I had to fight back. He kept fighting me though, and I was down to a single heart. As Spider-Man, I had a spider sense, which helped me dodge attacks easier. I webbed the Enderman and stunned him for a second, giving me the perfect opportunity to use my strength to take him down. I may not have elements, but I'm still Spider-Man. I then noticed that there was a note on the ground. I picked it up, and it read,
Here's the location to the Fire Infinity Stone. Go, retrieve it immediately.
Sweet! Now I know where to find the Fire Infinity Stone. I swung off and left the area. Before I went off to retrieve the Fire Stone, I knew I needed to build up a safe spot for myself and the Avengers down the line. I went to the trees nearby and began to break one down. With the wood, I then crafted myself a wooden axe and pickaxe. After that, I swung off to go find some stone. I mined a bunch and used it to create myself a set of stone tools. Using my stone sword, I went around and defeated a bunch of sheep, collecting their wool and mutton. I then returned back to the location where I wanted my base, and I quickly built a small shelter out of the wood and stone I collected. I went inside and finished my house with a crafting table, chest, and a furnace. Good. Once I secured the stone, I'll be that much closer to stopping Thanos and becoming Elemental Spider-Man. On day 4, I went out and reached the location towards the Fire Infinity Stone. I knew that getting this Fire Stone was not going to be easy, but something tells me that it was probably at the top of this volcano. I decided to make my way up. Man, talk about hot. There was lava everywhere. I finally reached the peak of it, and instead of finding the fire element, I found myself in front of a strange-looking illager.
You must defeat me if you want to obtain the Fire Stone.
I didn't want to fight against him, but he began to shoot fireballs and summon lava lays at me. I had no choice but to fight back. While fighting, I almost was knocked into lava. I gotta be more careful up here. We continued to fight, and he was able to set me ablaze with his fireballs. I was then starting to lose hearts quickly. I then hit him with my sword and weakened him to the point where he could not fight back.
Finish me, and you can obtain the Elemental Stone you seek.
I told him I had defeated him, but I was not going to kill him. That's not Spider-Man style. The illager agreed and tossed me the Fire Infinity Stone. Nice! I had one of the 4 Elemental Infinity Stones. I collected it, and suddenly, my suit changed, adding fire onto it. I also gained 5 more hearts. I wonder what I can do now. I triggered the Fire Stone, and I can shoot a beam of fire out at will. Whoa! This is gonna be useful. I left the volcano and made my way back to base. On day 5, I began treading through the world when I heard a commotion going on. I made my way over to the noise and spotted another Enderman, and it looked like he was fighting something. I got closer and saw that the Enderman was fighting a tiny spider.
Take this!
The tiny spider shot the Enderman with a web and immediately took him down. Wow, that was pretty impressive. The tiny spider turned around and noticed I was standing there. The two of us stared at each other for a moment, and we could both tell that there was a connection between us.
Hello, I'm Spino.
And I'm Spider-Man. Those were some pretty good moves you displayed there. Why don't we put those skills to use by helping me save the world? He seemed skeptical. I can tell he wasn't very confident in himself. Hey, you should at least try. Spinner agreed, and the two of us swung back to base. Once we arrived, I built him a nice little home right next to mine. He was thankful and told me why he was fighting the Enderman from earlier.
He's These Endermen started appearing more often, and they seem to be working for a guy named Thanos. They've been going around messing with only half the population, all for the sake of this Thanos. They need to be stopped.
You know, Spinner, I agree. We both knew that it was up to us in gaining the Elemental Infinity Stones to stop Thanos. On day 6, I was swinging through the world, and my spider sense randomly got activated. I heard the sound of screams. I arrived to find a village that was being raided by a group of pillagers.
Take all their belongings. Nobody's going to stop us.
Is that so? The pillagers turned around to see me standing right behind them. That stuff doesn't belong to you. Give it back.
Oh, fat champ. Get him!
The pillagers all began to charge at me. Time to see what this fire element can really do. I activated the stone and shot the pillagers with a blast of fire, knocking most of them out.
This guy's way too strong. I'm out of here.
I parkoured across the village houses, chasing after the runaway pillager. I then landed in front of him and punched him towards the rest. I trapped all of them together with my webs, holding them in place. All in a day's work for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. A villager walked up and dropped me some cooked chicken. Oh, thanks. I was getting hungry.
Those fire powers were pretty cool. It reminds me of this fire underground prison not far from here.
Fire underground prison? Huh. Maybe one of the Avengers are there. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, I heard they had an Iron Man down there. He's basically a knockoff of ours.
Okay, maybe you can just point me in the right direction. On day 7, I reached where the villager led me to. He did say that the prison was underground. Maybe I can use my new fire powers to help. I used them to blast a hole through the ground. Sweet. I quickly made my way through and landed inside of it. My spider senses then went off again. Chunks of the roof fell below me, and I immediately maneuvered away from it. That was close. I continued going through the prison and noticed it was being guarded by Thanos' Enderman. I need to be careful. I reached a cell and saw someone that looked really familiar. Wait, it was Iron Man.
Spider-Man, get me out of here!
Don't worry, I'll get you out. The Endermen all heard me though and began to attack. I moved around the prison to dodge them. I then used my fire ability to burn an Enderman down with a ray of fire. I jumped over another Enderman and struck him with my stone sword. I walked up to Iron Man's cage again and used my fire ability to burn it open.
Took you long enough, kid. We gotta get out of here before more of those guys show up.
Iron Man and I returned to base, and the two of us got to work on making him a home. He wanted to make a place similar to his previous one, Stark Tower. How am I supposed to build that?
Shut up, kid. Take this. Should help you out.
Oh, he dropped me some high-tech materials to use for it. I hope this is good enough for now. I went around and built his tower. This isn't turning out to be as big as his original, but I think it'll do. I then used the leftover materials he gave me for my house, making it look a lot cooler. Hey, thanks for that. Where's this Thanos guy even from?
Thanos? He's a guy who came from another world outside of Minecraft. He believed the world was too populated and needed to be balanced out. So he decided to take matters into his own hands.
Too populated? Matters into his own hands? What did Iron Man mean by that? Before I can ask any more questions, Iron Man handed me an item that looked like my spider symbol.
Take this. I believe it'll make you stronger.
I collected it and can feel that my firepower had gotten much stronger. I shot it and it blasted a way larger hole in the mountain. Thanks, Iron Man.
Listen, kid, if you want to stop Thanos, you need to find the rest of the Avengers. I suggest looking for Hulk first.
But where do I find him?
Well, you were drawn to me by the Fire Infinity Stone, right? My hypothesis is that each elemental stone you collect will draw you to a different hero. I believe if you get the Earth element, you'll probably find Hulk.
Maybe Iron Man was right. Time to go find the Earth Stone. On days 9 to 10, I started my search. While searching, I stopped by a cave and thought I should get more resources for myself. I went inside and spotted some iron around the area. I used my stone pickaxe to mine it. I then smelted the iron and used it to craft a set of iron tools. Nice. My victory, though, was short-lived as my spider sense went off. That doesn't sound good. I rushed out of the cave and went over to the sound. I then found Thanos' Enderman attacking a player village. I noticed that they were only killing half of the entire community.
Please, why are you doing this?
To balance the world for the sake of Lord Thanos.
Before the Enderman could continue their attack, I jumped in and knocked him away. Your fight is with me now. I use my fire elemental ability to take them down. I then hit the last Enderman and knocked him out. The rest of the players thanked me for saving them and told me that I had their support in my mission. I appreciated that and asked the player if she knew the whereabouts of the Earth Infinity Stone.
I have no clue.
Man, I then looked over at the defeated Enderman. You know what? It's okay if you don't have the answers. I think I know exactly where to find them. I returned back to base with an unconscious Enderman, and he started to wake up. I quickly hit him and knocked him out cold again. I can't have you teleporting away from me. I quickly got to work building a new room for my base and my new guest. After that, I brought the Enderman inside and waited for him to wake up.
Where am I?
I'll be the one asking the questions here. Now you see, all I want is some answers. First, why are you guys working for Thanos?
Thanos promised us rule over the world if we followed his orders. We're sick of the end. The overworld belongs to us.
Okay, now for my next question. Where can I find the Earth Stone? The Enderman fell silent and refused to answer me. All right, I guess we have to do it the hard way. I brought Iron Man inside, and he was preparing to blast the Enderman into smithereens.
Okay, I'll tell you. Just call him off.
That's what I thought.
The Enderman began to talk about a jungle temple that Thanos told him to retrieve the stone from. Iron Man, lock up this Enderman now. I'm gonna go head off and find this stone. On days 13 to 14, I began my journey towards the temple. I eventually found myself in front of a bridge that led me to the entrance. I began walking across it, and my spider senses started to go off. Several Endermen appeared on the bridge. I had a hunch that you guys would be here.
It's Spider-Man. Get him.
I charged at the Enderman. These guys were still really tough, but with my fire element, I was able to take them down. I then spotted a small ocelot run out of the trees.
Hey, thanks, pal. Those Endermen have been causing havoc to this here jungle. They didn't even have any fish either.
Oh, no problem. Hey, do you know where a shiny stone would be placed in this giant temple?
Oh, this temple has plenty of traps. But since you took out these Endermen, I can help you with a shortcut. Just follow me.
The ocelot then brought me on a side path, which led us to a much higher place in the temple. Wow, thank you.
No problem, man. Just be careful.
I saw a light shining in the middle of it and figured that was where the Earth Stone was being held. Nice. This was gonna be a piece of... Whoa! I fell through a trapdoor and was about to hit the floor, but I used my web shooter to save me just in time. Phew, that was close. That ocelot was right. There are a lot of traps. I climbed my way back up and was back in the room where the Earth Stone was being held. There it was. I collected the Earth element, and just like before, my suit changed into a blend of the Earth and Fire elements. I also gained 5 more hearts. Great. I'm halfway there to stopping Thanos and saving my friends. On days 15 to 16, I was swinging across the world and suddenly my spider sense went off again. And I spotted Thanos in an open area. So, you finally decide to show yourself, huh?
Spider-Man, it seems that you have already collected 2 of my Elemental Infinity Stones. Hand them over, now!
That kind of gets rid of the whole superhero aspect of my job. Look, these stones won't be going anywhere near you.
My world was too populated. I couldn't save it in time, so I arrived here, in this world. Once I use these stones and wipe away half of existence, your world shall live on and not become extinct. I'm doing you a favor.
Really? You think killing half of the world is gonna help it? I've seen what your minions have been up to, and I won't let you have your way. Thanos, charge and send me across the area with a nasty punch. Time to see what this Earth element could do. I activated the stone and used my new Earth abilities to dive under the ground before shooting out of it, knocking Thanos back. The blow stunned him, and I used my firepower to blast him with the heat ray, but it seemed to only anger him. Thanos retaliated by hitting me with an axe. I was low on hearts. I quickly shot webs at Thanos, and then I left and headed back to base. I arrived back feeling defeated. I couldn't believe that Thanos was this strong. I have 2 of the elements on my side. I really need to find the rest of the stones. I looked up and saw Iron Man flying around and chasing Spinner.
Get back here, you bug!
I ran over and broke up the commotion. Hey, what's going on here?
This nasty bug is leaving his webs all over my place.
I was just marking my territory. I don't trust this guy.
Listen, Spinner, Iron Man is my friend, and he would never hurt you. It's okay to trust him as well as the rest of my friends that I'm gonna bring. They all mean well.
I'm sorry, Spider-Man. I'm just so used to people hunting my kind. Most people hate Spidos. That's why I'm uneasy with Iron Man around.
Well, look, not all people are like that. You just have to give them a chance. Spinner believed in my words and apologized to Iron Man. I suggested to him that we should upgrade the base, and he agreed to help. The two of us went off and added more stuff to it. Spinner lured some sheep and chickens inside while I built a farm to house them in. Then, he brought back some wheat seeds and planted them to start a harvest. Afterwards, Spinner decided to decorate his house with a few webs. With that handled, it was time to use the Earth Infinity Stone to go and find Hulk. On days 19 to 20, I was tracking Hulk down. Just like Iron Man said before, the stone was drawing me towards him, making it easier to find him. I made my way through a forest and found myself in front of a big and earthy prison. Suddenly, the ground started shaking and a roar could be heard inside. That could only mean one thing. I walked inside and saw a large green figure banging the ground. Hulk was trapped inside of a cage trying to escape.
Let Hulk out so he can smash ground!
No way, you big green monster.
The Hulk was being guarded by some of Thanos' Endermen, so I had to fight my way through to get to him. I began my attack and started off by knocking a few of them out with my fire blast. They tried to surround me, but I used my earth abilities to spin around and knock them down. I then reached Hulk's cage. Don't worry, buddy. I'll get you out of here. I used my fire ability on the cage, but it didn't melt.
Fire no good on cage.
Really? Thanks, Hulk. Maybe if I use my earth element, I'll be able to break him free. I jumped on top of the cage and concentrated my ability. Then, I began to spin and drilled a hole right through his cage. Talk about a cool ability. Now, let's get you back to base. The two of us returned, and Spinner was there to greet us.
Wow, yo, huge.
Hulk not huge. Hulk is Hulk.
The two of them laughed, and I can tell that they would become really good friends. It's good to see Spinner trust new people. Hulk and I began working on a new place for him to stay in. He said that he wanted something big enough for him to fit in, but also secluded. Yeah, that's probably best. With the materials that I collected, we built a bunker for the Hulk's new home.
Thank you, Spider-Man. This worked nicely for Hulk.
He then told me that before he got captured, he happened to find something. What's this? I could feel the Earth Stone being drawn to it. It must have been something that could help amplify the stone.
I can put that to good use.
Iron Man walked in and told me that he can build me a reactor to help me amplify my Earth powers. Wait, what? Sweet.
I just need some materials to build a lab, and then we can get started.
On days 24 to 26, I was out searching for more materials and eventually came across a small cave entrance. The cave seemed too small for me to fit in. Luckily, I activated my earth ability and immediately started drilling the hole through the cave. I was inside and it was full with a bunch of ores. These would be useful for building Iron Man's new lab. Using my iron pickaxe, I mined all of the materials that I could see. I spotted some iron inside and collected enough to make myself some armor. I then pulled out a crafting table and made myself an iron chestplate and some iron boots. That should help protect me from future attacks. I used my drill attack and dug deeper into the cave until I came across some redstone. I think this was the key ingredient that Iron Man needed. I mined all the material and felt like this was more than enough. Excited to bring this back. I returned and me and Iron Man immediately got started on creating his new lab. I then gave Iron Man the materials I collected and began building. Once we were finished, we both admired the work.
Yeah, not too shabby, kid.
Thanks. You know, it means a lot coming from you and...
Yeah. Now get out so I can get started on your reactor.
He then kicked me out of his home. Oh, jeez. Talk about rude. The next day, I walked inside and Iron Man handed me the finished reactor. I combined it with the new item Hulk gave me, and I can tell that my earth element has gotten stronger. Now, my earth attacks would pack more of a punch. Thanks, Iron Man. Spinner came speeding in, and I asked him what was the rush.
I went off to go adventuring, and I think I found the Ice Infinity Stone.
That's great news. Where is it located? But he seemed like he had bad news.
I saw the stone and noticed that a person was stuck inside of it. He looked like some kind of soldier.
Soldier? Oh no, don't tell me that Captain America is trapped inside of the Earth Stone. Spinner quickly gave me the location, and I swung off. On days 30 to 32, I was walking through an ice biome in search of the Infinity Stone. Spinner told me that he saw the stone inside of a castle. After climbing a mountain, I finally found the place and noticed that it had been destroyed. I quickly rushed over and went inside to see that Thanos was about to grab the ice stone. I don't think so. I shot a web blast at him and he easily dodged it.
That trick won't work on me again.
Well, I'm not gonna let you take that stone. I charged in at Thanos again, but he knocked me out of the castle. He kept trying to slash at me, but my new chest plate thankfully protected me from a lot of the damage. I then used my amplified earth power and tried to use my drill attack to deal some damage. He wasn't hit by it though, and used his strength to brutally damage me. Ow.
You weakling. You should know by now that you don't stand a chance against me.
Thanos pulled out the Infinity Stone. Oh no! He was able to get it! He then used the stone and completely covered me in a block of ice. I can't move.
Now that you are trapped, I shall go and retrieve the Lightning Stone and use both of them on you to collect the rest.
All I could do was helplessly watch as Thanos left. It was days 33 to 35, and I was starting to feel helpless. Is this really it? Did I get defeated this easily? Suddenly, I heard a familiar noise start to enter the area.
Come on, kid. Where are you? Ha! Found you. Don't worry, kid. I'll get you out.
Thanks, Iron Man. How in the world were you able to find me? He told me that he placed a tracking device on me a while back. Hey, what the?
Shut up, dude. I saved your life.
I told Iron Man that Thanos was able to get the Ice Stone. How are we gonna get Cap now? Iron Man told me not to worry about that.
While tracking you down, I was able to find some of Thanos' goons. They could probably lead us back to wherever he is.
He gave me the location, and he and I both went our separate ways. On days 36 to 38, the location led me through a cave. I journeyed deeper inside until I was able to find some diamonds. I used my iron pickaxe and mined enough of the material to start making my diamond armor. I was able to craft myself a diamond chestplate and a pair of boots. Maybe this will keep me safe from his attacks. I then heard commotion going on the other side of the cave, so I went out to see what was happening. I saw a nearby village, and I found the place was half destroyed. Thanos' Endermen were the root of all this chaos, and they were killing off half of the villagers. I jumped in the middle of the village and confronted them. I quickly shot an Enderman with a fire blast to stop him from harming a villager. An Enderman teleported in front of me, but I used my earth power to spin and knock him out. I then used my fire ability to mow most of the group down, leaving one left. The Enderman got scared and teleported out of the village, but I wasn't going to let him escape. I used my spider sense to find the Enderman just outside the village running away. Perfect. I needed to follow this guy to lead me to Thanos' base. The Enderman was able to lead me to what I presumed to be Thanos' base of operations. I followed him inside before reaching a room where he and Thanos were speaking.
Were you able to balance out the village?
Mostly, but Spider-Man got in our way again, sir.
Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag that I escaped from the ice.
No matter. Your job is done.
That monster! He didn't need to kill him! I looked over though and saw that he left the stone right in the open. Now is my chance. I walked over and quickly was able to collect it. My suit immediately changed into an earth, ice, and fire variant, and I gained 5 more hearts. As much as I would love to test these new powers out, getting Cap out was my first priority.
Hey, you! Stop right there!
Uh-oh. Time to go. I quickly swung out of Thanos' base and left the area.
Let him go. Once Spider-Man secures the final stone, that's when I will strike.
On days 42 to 44, I was a good distance away and landed outside of a cave entrance. All right, Cap, how do I get you out of here? I dropped the Ice Infinity Stone, hoping for him to pop out, but nothing happened. Ugh, how am I supposed to do this?
Transmission incoming.
Hello?
Hey, Spider-Man.
How are you talking to me right now?
Yeah, I added a communicator on your suit, as well as, it's
Iron Man wanted to know if I was able to secure the stone. I was, but the only downside is Captain America is still trapped inside of it.
I feared as much. The only way to get Cap out now is to go inside the stone. I can build a machine for it, but I need some resources. Go get them for me. Iron Man out.
Great. Lucky for me, I'm right next to a cave. I went inside and I was able to find some diamonds. I collected enough to make myself a set of diamond tools. I also had some left over for whatever Iron Man needed. I started swinging my way back to base, but something caught my eye. I landed at the top of a tree to see some pillagers running away from a village.
Stealing those emeralds and gold was a piece of cake. Yeah, we're filthy rich now.
Sorry guys, but there's a return policy for stolen objects.
Oh no, it's Spider-Man.
The pillagers tried to run away, but now I had my ice powers to freeze them in place. Whoa, I'll be taking that. Thank you very much. I returned the emeralds and other things back to the villagers. Hey, those pillagers shouldn't be bothering you guys anymore. The villager dropped me some emeralds, and I thanked them for giving this to me. Maybe this is what I need to help power Iron Man's machine. I left the village and headed back to base. I returned to base and spotted Spinner hanging out with Iron Man and Hulk. I wonder what they're up to.
Listen, kid, if you want to become stronger, you need to be able to break down large objects.
Yeah, like this. Smash!
All right, here goes nothing. Spino, smash!
Don't worry, baby spider. Hulk will get you there in no time.
That's nice. It's good to see that Spinner is feeling more comfortable to be around the Avengers. I walked over to the group and told Iron Man that I collected the resources.
Good, now let's get to work.
The two of us went over and started working on a machine. By the next morning, Iron Man and I were able to complete all of it. He told me that this shrinking device would be able to make me small enough to enter the Ice Infinity Stone and rescue Captain America. I dropped the Ice Stone, and Iron Man wished me luck. He activated the machine, and there was a large flash of light. Okay, here goes nothing. On days 48 to 50, I was inside the Ice Infinity Stone and found myself surrounded by nothing but snow. Yep, this was definitely the right place. Now, where is Captain America? I could hear the sound of fighting, and I saw Captain America fighting some kind of ice beast.
Spider-Man, we gotta get out of here. This monster is too strong.
The ice monster roared and shot Cap with an ice blast, freezing him on the spot. Oh no, I'll get you out of here. But first, I knew I needed to deal with this guy. I turned to face the monster. I could feel the ice stone was connected to him somehow. Was this monster the guardian of this place? I needed to prove my worth. I charged at the monster, and he tried to hit me with his blast, but I jumped away and dodged the attack. I activated my earth power and tried using my drill against it. The monster hit me with his breath attack. Ow, that stings. Luckily, my diamond armor protected me. How do I beat this thing? I think I've got it. I confronted the monster and used my fire ability to blast him with a massive ray of heat. The attack looked like it worked, and the beast was gone. All right, Captain America, time to get out of here. Iron Man activated his machine once again, and Captain America and I grew back to our normal size.
Thanks, Spider-Man. You really got me out of a pinch.
No problem. Suddenly, I could feel my ice powers grow immensely. I guess it was the right decision defeating that beast. Now, let's get you accommodated to the base. I quickly got to work on building a house for him. I made his house a little bit more old-fashioned because I knew that he liked the classics.
I appreciate the house, Spider-Man. This will work nicely.
I got the captain caught up on the Thanos situation, and he told me that while he was stuck in the stone, he overheard Thanos speaking to the Enderman.
I overheard that he's building up a weapon, something that will wield all stones at once to complete his goal in the snap of a finger.
What weapon? Captain suggested that I figured out what it was. If I do, we can figure out exactly what his master plan is. I agreed and swung out of the base. My spider sense went off, and I could hear a cry for help out in the distance. I made my way over to a town and saw Thanos' Enderman placing villagers inside of a cage.
What are you going to do with us?
You people don't belong here. This world needs to be balanced for perfect harmony.
I swung into action and took on the Enderman. I used my fire ability to blast away all of them. I freed the villagers from the cage and asked one of them what the Endermen were doing.
They said they were gonna take half of our community and resources and planned on bringing them to Thanos. They didn't really care about us people, but they were more so looking for the rare resources we have.
Rare resources? Why would he want that? Maybe this is all connected to the new weapon he's making. The villager gave me some diamonds as a reward. It was enough to complete my diamond armor set. I thanked the villager and swung out of the town. As I made my way through the forest, I heard a familiar voice shouting nearby.
Leave these creatures alone!
I saw Spinner protecting some animals from a group of Thanos' men. Spinner shot a spiderweb at the Enderman and took him down while another teleported behind him. The Enderman tried to hit Spinner, but he was too quick and dodged his attack. Nice moves, Spinner. But then more Endermen teleported in front of him, and I knew that he couldn't take them all on. I jumped in and defended my friend. Using my ice powers, I freezed all of the Endermen in place. Then I defeated them all with my fire ability.
Oh man, I had those guys.
No, Spinner, there were too many for you to fight on your own. He was upset and told me that he wanted to be a hero like me. You are a hero, Spinner. I understand your motives, but you can't do all of it on your own. Sometimes I'm still trying to learn that too. It's okay to rely on others.
Okay, Spider-Man, I understand.
Don't worry, Spinner. You saved these animals here. You're a hero to them. He was happy to hear that, and I told him that I would meet up with him back at base. On days 60 to 62, I made my way back when out of nowhere, Thanos was there in front of me.
Spider-Man, did you think I wouldn't notice you taking the Ice Infinity Stone from my base?
All that matters is that I have it now, and I'm not gonna let you have these stones that easily.
You fool! Do you really think that you'll be able to defeat me with just 3 elemental stones?
I noticed that Thanos had a strange gauntlet on. That was it. This was the weapon that he was making. I knew that if he had this weapon, there's no way I can fight him with only 3 stones. I needed to find the Lightning Infinity Stone. Then I have to save Mary Jane. Thanos mocked me and suggested that I stop wasting my time with him and go find my precious girlfriend. You know, I will. And once I have all the elements, it's over for you. Thanos watched me as I swung off back to base. Why did he let me get away?
Go and save your girlfriend. Once my gauntlet is finished, I will absorb all of the elements. Then you won't be able to save anyone.
I returned and met up with Captain America and Iron Man. I told them about the gauntlet Thanos had, and I could tell that Iron Man was worried.
That gauntlet might have something to do with why he wants the Elemental Infinity Stones. Who knows how powerful he could be with an Elemental Gauntlet?
I'm not gonna let that happen, but I need to find the Lightning Infinity Stone and Mary Jane. I asked them if they had any news about the whereabouts, but Iron Man had no clue.
I think I might know. Come with me.
The 3 of us got into his home, and Captain America handed me a map of an island.
You see, I found a specific area in the world that constantly has lightning storms. My guess is that's where the lightning stone is.
Hopefully once I get the stone, it'll lead me to where Mary Jane is too. Iron Man told me that the area was too far for me to swing off, so I would need a boat to get there.
Be careful, Spider-Man. If it's an Elemental Infinity Stone, then you know the journey there will be dangerous.
I know, but it's a risk that I'm going to have to take. I left base and ventured over to the location. On days 66 to 68, I was on the edge of a beach, and I can hear thunder going off in the distance. The island housing the stone must be across this ocean. I quickly used my diamond axe to chop down the trees around me. After that, I was able to make a small boat to help me sail across the water. I began sailing across, but as I got closer, the storm started to pick up, and it became really hard to sail. It started to rain, and lightning started striking down near my boat. Oh no, it's gonna break it. A lightning bolt managed to hit my boat again, knocking me away and sending me into the water. Suddenly, a dolphin floated up to me.
Looks like the storm is messing with you too, huh, brah?
The dolphin told me that he lives in these waters, and they used to be the most sunny area in all of Minecraft. But thanks to the storm, it hasn't been the same since.
I just want my old home back.
Hey, how about we make a deal? If you could help me get to the shore of the island that I'm trying to reach, I might be able to make these waters sunny again.
Really? Ah, you got yourself a deal, brah. Let's go.
With the dolphin's help, I was able to quickly swim across the ocean. I made it to the shore of the island, and I thanked the dolphin for his help.
Help!
Oh, what was that?
You better go check that out, brah.
That noise. That was Mary Jane. I quickly swung across the island, following the voice. Eventually, it led me to a lighthouse. I quickly climbed up to the top and saw Mary Jane trapped in a cage. MJ! I ran over to her, but was immediately pushed back by a bolt of lightning. Huh?
It's the lightning stone. You have to go get it.
I looked out of the lighthouse and saw there was a bunch of lightning bolts coming from one place. That has to be where the stone's located. I made my way over there, running as fast as I can, trying to dodge any lightning bolt that was shooting at me. After enough running, I saw the lightning stone in sight. I ran towards the stone and used my spider senses to dodge all the incoming lightning. I finally reached it and grabbed it. Whoa. Because of that, the sky started to clear up. My suit began to change, and I became the full-on Elemental Spider-Man. I even gained 10 more hearts. This is awesome. I then left and was able to return to Mary Jane's cage. I'm so sorry that you've been captured.
Don't worry about it, Tiger. I'm just glad that both of us are safe now.
Yeah, same here. On days 72 to 74, MJ and I returned from the island, and I told her to find somewhere safe until I dealt with Thanos. I couldn't risk bringing her back to base. I didn't want her to be around any danger. As I swung back, I noticed that it was under attack. Oh no. I landed inside to find that it was a complete wreck. Anyone? Is there anyone here? I walked around to find all of the Avengers defeated and knocked out.
Spider-Man, so nice of you to join us. Do you have all of my stones now?
I turned around to see Thanos was there, and so were his Enderman minions. You're gonna pay for this. I charged at the Enderman and used all of my elemental powers on them. I jumped into the middle of the group and used my Earth ability to spin around and spread them out. I then activated my fire power and blasted a few away. With my new lightning ability, I summoned a wave of lightning to take down the rest. I then could hear Thanos laughing at me. What's so funny? I struck Thanos with a bolt of lightning, but he didn't seem fazed by it, and I actually started to feel weaker. What's going on?
You still don't get it, do you?
I used the last of my abilities on Thanos, and he wasn't fazed. Oh, why am I exhausted? Ugh.
You're coming with me, little spider.
Where am I? I found myself strapped to a table and Thanos was there, facing me.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
What did you do to me? I was still extremely weak from our previous fight. Why couldn't I hurt you? I had all the elements.
Oh, Spider-Man, all you were doing was giving the Elemental Infinity Stones back to its rightful owner.
Thanos explained that every time I used my Elemental Infinity Stones on him, I was transferring my powers over to his gauntlet. So that's why I felt so weak. Your gauntlet is the reason for all of this. I tried to break out of the table, but I was still so weak. Thanos mocked me and called me a fool. He then pulled out his gauntlet and told me now that I'm my weakest, he can finally take the stones. The Titan pointed at me, and I was in excruciating pain. I can feel the elements slipping away. You can't do this. There was then a large flash, and my suit turned into normal. No! No!
Thanks for retrieving the stones for me, boy. Now it's time for me to finish what I started.
I looked over and saw that Thanos was holding a new elemental gauntlet. He then walked up to me and sent me flying out of the base. I landed back in my base, completely broken and defeated. He did it. He caught all of the elemental infinity stones. Spinner then arrived and was relieved to see that I was okay.
I was looking everywhere for you. I'm so glad that you're safe.
Yeah, well, no one's safe now. Thanos has all the elements. I fell right into his trap. I basically did all the work for him.
Don't beat yourself up, Spider-Man. We can still beat them.
But how? It's impossible to beat him now. Don't you understand? Ow, what was that for? Spinner told me that he knew Spider-Man was a hero, with or without elemental powers. Spinner, you're right, but how? I don't know how I'm gonna find a way to defeat him. An explosion went off in the distance, and Spinner and I quickly swung over to see what was going on. We arrived at the scene to see Thanos wreaking havoc on the world.
It's time to correct this world and make it balanced once again.
Stop what you're doing!
You will be the first example to my correction.
Wait, no, stop! But before I could even react, a white light began to slowly cover the entire area. What just happened? Thanos, what did you do?
I did what had to be done.
No. No. Wait, Spinner, are you okay?
Thanos did it. You can still stop him, right? Do it for me. Be the hero I always wanted to be.
Spinner, no! He slowly started to fade away out of existence, as well as half of the Minecraft world. Villages, people, everything gone. I couldn't believe that my friend and half the world was gone. This can't be happening. I was in shock. Thanos just erased half of the population in the blink of an eye. I looked back to where Spinner was standing, and I noticed a book was lying on the ground. The book belonged to Spinner. It read,
There During my adventures out in the world, I managed to spy on Thanos and see what he was up to. I've been studying his gauntlet and managed to find a way to break it. The only metal strong enough to break his gauntlet is none other than vibranium.
Vibranium is one of the hardest metals in the world. Spinner must have been planning to collect it and use it as a backup plan in case Thanos got the stones. Wow, Spinner, even in death, you've become a true hero. The only way I was gonna beat Thanos was with vibranium. I need to go back to base and see if the Avengers knew where to find some. On days 86 to 90, I returned to find that the base had been completely restored thanks to the Avengers.
We were able to recover from our injuries and fix the place back up while you were gone. But the world...
Half-world gone. Where's Spinner?
I revealed to everyone the bad news. Spinner was one of the ones who vanished. The group was saddened to hear that, but I told them that it was no time to mourn now. We need to get to work on stopping Thanos. That's exactly what Spinner would have wanted. I handed the journal over to Iron Man and asked if he knew where to find some vibranium.
The last known remnants of this resource are deep underground within the mines.
Then that's where I'm gonna go. I walked over to a cave until I was deep underground. I surveyed the area and looked around to see if there were any signs of vibranium. Eventually, I was able to find a small amount, and I used my diamond pickaxe to mine the material. You know, this pickaxe gave me an idea. I pulled out a crafting table and a furnace, and I was able to use the vibranium to make myself a vibranium pickaxe. This right here will be the key to stopping Thanos. I returned to base and told the Avengers that I was able to find some vibranium. This was it. Now was the time for us to act and take down Thanos once and for all. I then quickly built a small grave for Spinner, and we all took the time to mourn for him.
Hulk gonna miss sparring partner. You were one of the best heroes I ever met.
Goodbye, Spinner. I'm gonna miss you, but I promise that we're going to avenge you, and we'll avenge half of the world. I told everyone the plan for our final battle, and I knew that Thanos would be back at his base, thinking that he's won. That's when we're gonna strike, when he least expects it. I told the Avengers that they would focus on taking down Thanos' army of Endermen. We'll get the Mad Titans' attention. Let's do this, guys. On days 95 to 99, we all arrived outside of Thanos' castle. You all know the plan. The Avengers charged inside and began their assault. I watched as Hulk started smashing and taking down Endermen one by one. Iron Man flew up and rained down missiles on the group. The army was starting to thin out. We're making progress. Captain America was surrounded, but he used his shield to block their attacks.
We got this under control, Spider-Man. Go get Thanos.
Thanks for the assist, guys. I went over to Thanos' room, and he was there waiting for me.
Really? You think you stand a chance against me without your elements?
A friend once told me that even without my elements, I'm still a hero, and I'm here to prove that. Thanos used the fire element and tried to shoot me with a ray of fire, but I used the environment around me to dodge it. I tried to get close, but he used the Earth Stone to spin me around and knocked me away. I knew that this wasn't gonna be easy, but I need to find a way. I then used my web shooters to try and hold Thanos down, but he countered with his ice ability and froze.
Did you really think you could defeat me?
Without my elements? No. But with this, I broke out of the ice and used my vibranium pickaxe to break Thanos' gauntlet. The elemental stones were all on the ground, and I quickly collected them and transformed back into the Elemental Spiderman. It's good to be back.
Impossible!
Thanos then ran out of the castle. Oh, no, you don't. On day 100, I followed Thanos to a vast and desolate area. The Titan finally stopped running and turned around to face me.
You think this is over? I've won! The world is balanced thanks to me!
No, the world is broken because of you, and you're gonna pay for it. The two of us circled around each other, waiting for the other to attack. He tried to charge, but I countered and used my Earth ability to spin and knock him away. I then jumped at him and used my web shooters to stun him. It didn't work, and Thanos used his weapon to deal immense damage on me. Ouch. The Titan stood over me and was ready to deal the finishing blow.
After I kill you, I'll make sure that all of your friends join you and that little spider.
No! I summoned a lightning storm and hit Thanos with multiple bolts. He was finally taking damage, and I knew that it was time to finish this fight. I summoned all of the Ice Stone's power to freeze Thanos into a block of ice. Then, I blasted him with a large heat ray.
No!
I could tell that he was knocked out and defeated. If you could use the stones to erase the world, then I'm gonna use them to recreate it. I concentrated, using all the elemental infinity stones. There was a large flash of light, and the world of Minecraft returned to normal.